Last lap of the AM Club this morning. You're watching here with Emma Kosiade team. My name is Godwin Nambo. It's time for the plug, and earlier on we were telling you about the top 20 richest people in Africa. Let's talk about prosperity, shall we? And Dr. Sebastian Spiogabra is a board member of the Africa Prosperity Network, and he's joined us this morning to tell us more about it. Doc, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you.
Pleasure.
Please, by all means, tell us about the Africa Prosperity Dialogue.
Thank you very much. It's a high-level conference which is being held from tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, which is going to bring some of the top business leaders in Africa with government. On the business side, we have Aliko Dangote as the headliner among the business leaders. And then we have President Akufo-Addo and a number of African presidents who will be coming. And the idea is to basically get business and government to be on the same side, because oftentimes when you speak to businessmen and women, they have certain concerns they feel government doesn't understand or doesn't address. And then vice versa, governments also tend to feel that business isn't paying enough taxes and isn't contributing, its quota to the national development. So there's a way, think of it like an African version of Davos. It's a way to bring the two sides together to discuss matters and to forge a compact on how we can work together, because fundamentally, up and until governments and business work together, we are not going to have the number of jobs we need for young people when they get out of university and out of school to work. And to the extent that young people can't have work to do, this poses a risk to the future of Africa. So that is the basic idea. The number of panels that will be dealing this year, the theme is delivering prosperity in Africa, produce, add value, and trade. And fundamentally, our view is that with colonization, you basically had the balkanization of Africa. So you had all these different countries. So if you're in Ghana, you don't trade with Togo. If you're in Togo, you don't trade with Nigeria. And, we all know that the largest economies, whether it's the United States or it's China or it's the European Union, basically are not balkanized markets. So if you are in New York and you want to trade shoes, you are selling shoes, and somebody in Indiana would give you the best price, you can ship it to Indiana, you can drive it to Indiana. And it should be the same way, that if somebody's in Takwa and he has something to trade, which somebody in Cameroon would give him a better price for it, how do we get that person in Takwa to sell it in Cameroon effortlessly? It's a lot of work. I mean, there's infrastructural development that has to happen. There's policy changes that are occurring. At the continental level, you have the African Continental Free Trade Area. So there's a treaty that has been signed to integrate all of Africa's economy. But the actual work of doing it is very difficult. And we, as business people, people like yourselves in media and in government, all have a role to play. So these dialogues is just sort of bringing different groups of people together to discuss them.
Will this be the first time ever?
No. I think we had it last year. This is a second dialogue. So we had it last year, 2013.
23.
No, sorry, not last year. 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, not last year. 23, 22. So we had it 2 years ago, and this is the second one. Yeah.
Okay. And you say that it's happening tomorrow?
It's happening tomorrow. 25th, 26th, and 27th. So 25th and 26th are the panels, and then on 27th we have a number of African presidents coming in, and that's when we also will have Mr. Dangote joining in that session. And all of this is happening at the Peduase Presidential Lodge, because all of this is happening under the offices or the auspices of the presidency. So yeah, so that is, and then there'll be a gala night, there'll be award ceremony
You have my attention. Let's stay on the gala night. Let's
on
stay
the-
on the
on the
gala
evening-
night.
on the
Okay,
evening
on the
of-
evening of 27th?
20 Friday
Friday.
night.
Okay.
Right. So there's going to be
There's a lineup of activities.
there's a party involved.
And so how can you
How can
would be part
Ah,
of it?
well, so the truth of the matter is that you can go online and register, but it's been massively oversubscribed. I mean, we basically were initially planning to have about 600 people. We have over 3,000 people registered. We have over 500 people coming from all over Africa. So it's going to be a big challenge who's going to be able to come and who's not going to be able to come. And the Secretariat is dealing with all that problem. But it's a good problem to have. It's like if you're selling something and,
too many people want you to buy
people
it.
more people want to buy it, it's a sign that demand has exceeded supply. So
Yeah. I mean, for you as a board member,
Yes.
what are you looking forward to? Would you share your experience for the maiden one 2 years ago, and then what you're expecting this
Yeah.
year as well?
Well, look, I as a board member, I mean, part of my role is just to make sure that the goals, the objectives of the organization are being met, which is that it's supposed to be a platform to bring business and government together. For this year, as we said, the theme is delivering prosperity, produce, add value, and trade. The view is this, you see, if you go back and you think about it, when the Europeans first came to Ghana, they didn't bring us aid. They didn't bring us money. They didn't bring us school fees. They didn't bring us roads. They are landed in Elmina, and they traded with us. They brought something, and we gave them something. So that was the basis of the dignity we have. If you can't add value to what you are producing, then all you can do is to beg. You see, it's like somebody comes to your house, he says, look, maybe you're my cousin or my brother. I may not have much money, but I can clean your house today. I can iron your clothes. I can wash your clothes. So at the end of the day, you may give them something, but they've exchanged something with you. So our view is that this issue has to be extremely critical to the discussion. So we have a panel on a number of panels. Let me just mention some of them. One of them is doing business differently, adding value to what we produce. We have on that panel Ibrahim Mahama, President Mahama's brother, the CEO of Jata Cement. He's clearly somebody who has tried in his own ways to do that. We have Ebenezer Asante from MTN Group. We have a number of people on that panel. We have a panel that looks at agriculture. How do you add value in the agricultural space? We have a fintech, financial services kind of panel, and a bunch of things. One panel that I find quite interesting is one that will be looking at reparations. This idea that, in the post-colonial period, to put it mildly, things were taken, slaves were taken from here, our assets effectively were taken. And how do we positively engage with the West, who were part of this, at the head of this process? In the United States, a lot of the argument is that let's give a check to African Americans. And there's a big argument. Some of it is positive, some is negative. And our view is that you could probably create some structures, some funds, which would allow Western nations to invest in the reintegration of Africa. See, it was a deliberate policy to put Togo and Benin between Ghana and Nigeria. It wasn't accidental. It's intentional. It's almost like you balkanize the countries by making sure that they can't integrate. So for us to actually now integrate Ghana, Togo, and Benin and Nigeria, it means that we have to have a road. We have to have a way to connect.
Yes.
But Ghana's budget cannot build that road by itself. Nigeria's budget cannot do it. So there has to be structures, financial structures, which allows that to happen. So again, these are conversations to exchange ideas and to gather thoughts about this. So when we finish, we hope that we'll have a signing of a compact, a business compact, business saying these are the things that we need government to do, government saying these are the things we also want business to do. So the idea is to just keep pushing government and business to work more closely together.
I mean, for a board member, you were saying that that's a good problem to have because people have quite oversubscribed. And it sounds like it's been a walk in the park for you. Has it been quite difficult putting this together? Which
Well,
part of it is difficult?
I would say that my colleagues who are in the secretariats are doing most of the work. We as board members
Yeah.
fly in and jump in to help here and there, but I mean, they are doing the big part of the work. But I think it also a sign that we are having an awakening. I think most young people in Africa know that even those who have gone abroad, you see, why would people go abroad and return back? If we didn't see that the future is here. But when you come back, you also see that there are a lot of bottlenecks. So, I mean, I think that the oversubscription is a sign that people want this to happen. I mean, you know, how will government work with the private sector? So yeah, so it's.
Let's talk about the cheddar, the money. Do you have to pay to be part of?
Well, no. The main dialogues are free, but for the gala, you know, you can sponsor a table, that sort of thing. But for the main dialogues, they are free, and that is why you have such a high subscription, and therefore we're also going to have it online. We're going to have it on Facebook, on YouTube, so those who can't attend can watch. Again, it's one of these things. Do you charge for an event like that, or you make it open so that the public can attend? And especially since the president is effectively the patron of this event, I think the view is that since the public event, you can't really charge for it. Yeah.
Do we have a time? Is there a time that it starts?
Oh no. So I think on tomorrow, the 25th, it starts at basically at 9.
Okay.
8:45, 9, and it goes all the way to about 4 p.m.
Okay.
The same for Friday, and then on Saturday back at the Peduasi Lodge, it starts in the morning and ends mid-afternoon. And I would say that for those who are registered and are not able to get a confirmation to make it, just join online. You see, we have to have a certain Pan-Africanist and patriotic spirit about these things. That if I can't make it, it doesn't mean that, hey, because I couldn't make it, the whole thing should collapse. No, you don't, you know, just join it and listen and make your contributions, because we all 30 million of us cannot attend the event, but some would attend and some would watch. But at the end of the day, we hope that the outcomes are positive for everyone.
I like that you're able to put two very competing same products, Jata Cement, Dangote Cement. I mean, these two people are giants, but yeah, and they are on the same panel. So I really look forward to hearing what the Jata Cement founder will say, and also what Dangote would also say. But again, on the panel.
Again, but you see, I mean, if you go to Silicon Valley, you have Microsoft and Google's offices next to each other. I mean, it's a myth. It's a myth that we don't have to. We can learn from each other. We can collaborate. There's collaborative competition. So I mean, it's like that's why I have so many TV stations, so many radio stations. The era of one dominant player in most industries is disappearing because technology, AI. We actually have a side panel on AI. It's making it much easier for you to get into the cement business. I mean, and why not? I mean, that's the whole purpose of the free market economy, that somebody else can start something. I remember, growing up in Accra when Papaya was the only, there was something called chicken licking in the 80s. It doesn't exist anymore. But I mean, there was a time when there were only few restaurants. Now there's so many, you don't even know which one to choose from. So yeah.
Okay. Well, this final question for me would be, with the panel, are they going to be industry segmented, or it will just be happening one after the other? Is it that when we have agricultural panelists and people who are interested in agriculture, they'll be listening, or agricultural conversation will be for everybody, AI conversation will be for everybody?
I get it. It's a very good question. So the main session is for everyone. And then I think during the some breaks, there'll be some small side events, but those are specific to some invited people. So let's say they are discussing 50, because you have so many ministers coming, so many presidents coming, so many business leaders from across Africa. So you might have a situation where, you know, you have a small side panel to discuss women's empowerment. You have 50 or 40 people looking at that, but that will not conflict with a big event. So everybody's in the big room. It's a Davos-style structure. So everyone is in a big room listening to and interacting with the main panels. And truthfully, we intend to always keep learning, you know, from these events and to keep improving it.
Okay. I mean, we look forward to that. So tomorrow, what's your camera? I like that you personally invite people, especially now that people have oversubscribed, and yet there's online that you can join in.
Yes.
It means that everybody is still invited. And so you will talk.
And the issue of prosperity is one that unites all of us.
Yes.
I hope so.
Yes, it does. This morning,
All of
my
us.
colleague and I were wondering why the top 20 richest Africans,
that's
we
up.
didn't have a Ghanaian in there.
Oh, well, but you see, we have to want it to happen. You see, when we have something we call something the PhD, you know, concept, which we Ghanaians professionalize, right? So if my brother here is producing something or is doing something, how do I support him? Or if you are doing something, how do we support you to push it? And this has to be deliberate policy. And I pray that a day would come in Ghana where we can unite around such things. You know, I don't think when somebody buys an Apple product or, you know, a Gucci bag, do you care that, you know, I mean, which party in Italy supports Gucci? Do we know? I mean, it's a kind of a weird question, right? Which tribe or which church supports Maserati in Italy, right? So the point is that if we get to a stage where we can move beyond, again, these cleavages, these divisions are deliberate policy. It's not something people who haven't studied it don't understand. It was one family that met in one place that decided to divide Africa. One family. Yes, because when the Berlin Conference was held and all the European countries got together, the King of France's daughter is the Queen of, you know, England. The Queen of England's son-in-law is the Prince of the King of Norway. Even till today, they all marry each other. So it's a bit like, think of like maybe the Asante and the Achimhini, King of Wasa, King of Winneba, who are all related. They're all Oyoko or Asona or whatever. They're all meeting and dividing Norway. So how they divided? They divided it and give this one to their nephew, this one to their son, this one to their cousin. That's how they did it. So it was deliberate. It wasn't like, no, Togo wanted to speak French and Ghana wanted to speak English. No, they intentionally did it. So we have to intentionally get to a stage where we love each other, we support each other, and even if somebody has a business and he's making a mistake, we try to help that person rather than bring the person down and destroy. So the spirit of prosperity, which our ancestors had, I mean, the richest man till date is Mansa Musa. Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos haven't gotten Elon Musk. Even Elon Musk was born in Africa. Even Elon Musk was born in Africa. We forget this. So this is where prosperity itself is, but we have to re-engage that spirit again. So we are trying a little bit.
Nice. Okay, so no. You have a special reason to be part. If you're not able to go there, if you're watching us and you're lucky to be part there physically, that's nice to know. But if you're unable to, you can join in online. I don't know how they can get the link and all of that. Is there a website?
Yeah, there's a link, africaprosperity.net. When you
Okay.
go online, you see it.
Okay.
Very easy.
Okay. Gordon, do you agree that we can actually talk to Mr. Sebastian Spielgabra the whole day? Like, they actually like engage our minds the whole time.
I'll
Thank
come
you.
back again.
Oh, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming. And then enjoy tomorrow next, and also on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Mr. Nambo.
Yes, that's it for the AM Club this morning. Thank you for joining us. My name is Godwin Nambo. I've been doing this with
MFA Kosia, the T. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.